Hello Pisces, welcome or welcome back to Mind, Body and Heart Tarot Therapy. I'm here to do the reading for July 2020, about a month from when you're actually seeing this. And yeah, this is a general reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon and Rising signs. If it resonates, and if it doesn't, then it's just not your reading. So let's see what's the energy for you. What's the current energy for my dear Pisces? A lot of cards turning, but only one. Jumping, the Empress. Well, that is beautiful. I hope you can see this. All right. So you're very grounded, very much in your senses right now, Pisces. The Page of Swords is your challenge. See what's your advice. Six of Swords is your advice. I saw this turning as I was shuffling earlier, so kind of showed up twice. And the Judgment as your future energy. And you have Temperance as the bottom of the deck, which is the theme of your reading, Pisces. All right. That's really beautiful, Pisces. Look at this. This is good. This is really good. Temperance is always about obviously finding out the middle path, tempering out, say, opposite emotions or you know, everything that's within and without, outside of yourself. It's about really relating from a more centered place, I would say. And it's also about transforming the energy. Like Temperance is the alchemist. It's about transforming, like being able to hold pairs of opposites and have them come together and be transformed. Anyhow, let's put up clarifiers. Why is the Empress here as your current energy? Then you have the Sun and the Eight of Swords with this. Okay. Why is the Page of Swords here as your challenge? Wow, you went all the way down. Four of Wands. Okay, why is the Six of Swords here as your advice? Two of Swords. And why is the Judgment here as future energy? What's changing so dramatically? Oh, no, a lot. Eight of Pentacles. Judgment again. Nine of Cups. And the Three of Cups. Okay, I was really hoping this is gonna be, and bottom of the deck, Ten of Pentacles. I was really hoping this is gonna be a very short reading, since it's already close to the mid-month. But yeah, it is what it is. Seems that it's a lot going on here. Okay. I think this month you're really tapping into a new power, a new skill, this superpower of finding harmony within the midst of conflict and contrasts and all that. You may have themes around tradition that show up. You may have themes around family that show up, that require you to really sit with this contrasting energies. You may have inner conflicts in this, coming from these themes, or outer conflicts, people triggering you in this direction. And this can go as far and as deep as you're able to. Sorry. In terms of like tradition, how the tradition is important in your life, how it applies in your culture, what is valuable from the tradition and what is needed to be changed and all that. And sometimes the same thing can have different effects depending where we are at in the moment that we are experiencing it, or we're in the world, or things like this. Some things we can carry with us, some things we need to let go. I think you do find that magic that can harmonize this, you know. This is what Temperance is all about. And the Ten of Pentacles is also harmony. It really speaks of harmony eventually. Look at this. Look at the harmonious display of these 10 pentacles. By the way, there's the 10th pentacles. It's just right here in the center, being contained within this safe space, within this rainbow and colorful circle that just keeps spreading over. You know, it's really an abundant energy. Once the balance is being reached, how to reach this balance? Well, it's very important to stay present with both what is in the unconscious mind and what's coming from your dreams, what's coming from your intuition, but also being with one foot on the ground, on the more practical side of life, on the more, you know, the world that you can actually touch and feel and taste. And we're getting there because you seem to be there. You seem to be grounded in your senses right now, which is great. It's really, really good. It's you're able to be gentle and kind with yourself. You are able to hold a space of love both for yourself and other people, I would guess. You seem to have the patience to allow nature to take its course. And that brings you a lot of personal power. Maybe you're tapping into this more. Maybe you're understanding that as you just sit and wait for things to take their course without, like, being in this receptive quality of the feminine, where usually the Empress is depicted as pregnant, where you allow the cycles to take their turn, when you allow the crops to grow there without expecting them to grow the next day. They take time. And I think like a lot of your personal power is being revealed through that. A lot of your, it's a healthy growth for your ego, which maybe had been too trapped in the mind, fear-based up until now. And maybe you will see this too. You will see how at times you can become very anxious and you can get stuck in your mind, and you maybe go on obsessive thinking trips and this sort of stuff, which again, it's normal. It happens. It happens to everyone. But we are all on a healing journey, consciously or unconsciously. Some of us more intentionally, some of us less. And as we grow, as we learn, as we experience life, as we are open and receptive to the experience, we start noticing what's really at the base of these fears, what's really blocking you, what's really putting all these defense mechanisms. These swords look here as if they're supposed to protect this what looks like a chrysalis, right? Like a butterfly to be. Not a what's the name of that, the one that's before, the worm-like thing, not that yet. See, it's already like almost towards the end of the transformation. It's an 8, it's close to an end of a cycle. Yeah. And these swords look as if they're about to protect, but actually they're hindering the growth because they're pointed at the chrysalis. They're not holding space. So this is unsafe for it to transform, you see. So you're definitely able to see now where this is coming from, what part of your defense mechanism are now detrimental to you rather than helpful, And this is being revealed to you. This is showing up, and you're open to receive this information because you're patient, you're grounded, you're in your senses, and you're in a mothering energy. You are able to hold space for this and be with it, and be not judgmental, but rather nurturing. This needs nurturing in order for the transformation to take place. Not self-criticism, not hey, I don't want this to be part of me, I don't want this behavior, I don't want this, I don't want that. No, it's really about receiving, about welcoming the information. And when we fully accept what's really going on within, that's when the change happens naturally, not forced, not by being rejected, not by striving, not by, and naturally changes. because it does not come from rejection anymore. It comes through acceptance and love transforms. Okay, hope that makes some sense. Okay, so the Page of Swords with the Four of Wands as your challenge. So throughout this process of balancing, of being present with what's really going on within, of these revelations that come from within, and this beautiful energy of being able to observe and allow things to kind of take their turn, it seems that for your mind it's a bit difficult to take in this transformation, you know. There like maybe new, deep, crazy ideas come through, all the way from your Piscean wisdom of spirituality and so on, or from deep within the ground, from information that maybe you haven't been so aware of before. And your mind can be like, and you know, that's of a spiritual nature for sure. And your mind may be a little bit like confused with this, still looking at the past, still looking at like what is it that how did you make sense of your reality before, looking, maybe holding on to some traditions that maybe are not necessary anymore, holding on to this self-sabotage and self-limiting because it felt safer to feel smaller rather than to go into completely new phase. And with the four of Wands here, it seems to be challenging for you to sit, to build upon your foundation. You've got a foundation already that you can really honestly, safely build upon. Yet, because you're looking back and you're not looking forward, because you feel like the transformation doesn't come easy, your mind is holding on to a version of reality that still makes sense. It's that fear of go completely in the unknown and give like real to really give weight to these deep ideas that tell you that there's nothing wrong with you. We are so devoted to our fears, we are so devoted to our limiting beliefs, that when we realize that we are way more powerful than we realize, and more beautiful and more unique and valued and all that, we can get scared, because that feels like responsibility, and also feels like, hey, I've been wrong this whole time. But hey, you've got the foundation. Trust, really trust. You know where you're going, and this is healing. And your mind will go through this transformation process, like it or not. And yeah, you have the Six of Swords with the Two of Swords as your advice. So it's pretty clear that your advice is to let go of whatever it is that you're holding back to, holding on to. What is it that you think that I don't know, ideas or defense mechanisms or behaviors that you've been devoted to, and maybe rationalized your way around in order to feel they make sense. It's time to let them go, especially those that hold no kindness to you, those that are like, you know, the self-criticism especially. And sometimes self-criticism can masquerade as outer criticism. The more we feel triggered by other people and we start like heavily criticizing them, maybe for good reason, it's not about that. We're not talking about the rational thing. It's more about the inner process. That's still inner criticism. It's just directed outwards. That's all. It's still coming from a deep feeling of like not belonging, not feeling feeling inadequate, feeling somehow like something is wrong with us at a very deep level, or that we're not gonna make it through the transformation. We don't trust ourselves to make it. We don't trust ourselves to be you know, be able to hold whatever it is that is given to us, the gift that we carry into the world. But you see, Six of Swords it's a mind transformation. It's a shift of a perception. And with the Two of Swords here, it is pretty clear to me that you've been obscured somehow. Like your perception had been obscured somehow. You weren't able to see things clearly. Maybe this talks about confirmation bias. You know, when we're looking out into the world and we're much more receptive to information that seems to confirm our version of reality. But again, it is very important to connect and be present with all this from a place of mothering and caring and listening and being receptive and not forcing anything. And this shift happens naturally. This movement happens coming from within, not by something that you need to impose. And then the eclipse season is ending, and then you're like, you know, the sun is being revealed. But it's very important for you to recognize when there's something that you're willingly not looking at, or you're unable to see, or you're trying to rationalize your way around it, because that's what keeps you trapped in here. But you see, this is moving on, this is moving forward. And there you go, the transformation happens. Judgment is radical transformation. Judgment is movement. Judgment is like, you know, it's like say a soul journey that had been, it's given the opportunity to end the cycle. There's the angel calling out the people out of their graves. It's the judgment day. But it's not the judgment day in the sense like you're bad, you're good, you're going to hell, you're going to heaven. Don't put that type of judgment ideas in your mind. It's much more about assessment. Where I'm at in my soul journey. I'm very, very near an end. This is a 20, yes? And this is a 10. Again, it's an end of cycle. I'm really closing an end. And I'm here to see if I need to repeat this story, or am I able to move on to the world where it's integration, where it's the end of a journey, when it's graduation and moving on. So this is a pure assessment of your soul. Your soul is doing this assessment, not your ego mind, not a force outside of yourself. It's your soul, your connection to your higher self, and be like, hey, whatever it's been, it served a purpose. Whatever I've suffered through, whatever ideas I've been devoted to, it made sense. It came from where it came and it made sense. But now I have the clear view of where does that come from, and what is really needed and what is not. And you're given this choice. And you see, you have the Eight of Pentacles right here with this Judgment card. So I feel like you've got yourself like your network. You created a safe space for yourself. You've done the work. You've done plenty of work for you to be able to hold yourself through this transformation. I don't know, seeing Judgment twice here is just fascinating. It's really, really intense. And I like also that there are two different depictions, you know. It's like arising, it's like escaping a certain type of ordeal. The cycle that you're repeating again and again and again, and now you're finally free of it. You can be free of it because you see exactly what it is. You have the gentleness and you're bringing love in. You're not bringing that harsh judgment of the Saturn. You're bringing the mothering. You're bringing the love to those parts of yourself that thought that they need to be restricted through socializing, through trauma, through all that. And you see, this is definitely like bringing you closer to wish fulfillment and to connecting with people from a truly loving, authentic place, with your soul tribe, with your friends, with yourself ultimately, but being able to put this outside of yourself as well, in harmony and in really understanding what your needs are, what other people's needs are, and being able to provide for yourself. So that's really, really lovely. I'm really hyped about this journey of yours, Pisces. Now let's see what's the oracle message from Rumi. Blessing of Zahra, okay, 39. Okay, so the poem, wow, it's a long poem. The poem from Rumi says, let go of thought, don't take it into your heart. You are naked and thought is like ice. You use thought to seek release from suffering and pain, while thought is the cause of your suffering and pain. Just that's exactly what this is saying, these two. You are being trapped in your thoughts and you are using it also as confirmation bias. You just... Sorry, I'll just go back to the... So you use thought to seek release from suffering and pain, while thought is the cause of your suffering and pain. The realm of creation is outside the scope of thought. Oh, foolish one. See the opus, behold the beauty. Look in the direction from which the images flow. See the brook that causes the wheel to turn. That's so beautiful, and that's exactly what you're doing with this temperance right now. You're really seeing where this is coming from, and you have the wisdom, you have the groundedness to look at it and to see it and to not get lost in thoughts. That's what I think. Okay, so I'm gonna read. Okay, this one's not so long, maybe I read it all. When we are hungry, we reach for what food is available. If we are starving, we may gorge upon what is before us, only to find ourselves overfed, undernourished, and in a most uncomfortable and dissatisfied state. Your soul needs better quality food. It has been detoxing. You have been shedding old thoughts, feelings, pains, and struggles. Memories of the past have been flooding out of your soul like parasites being expunged, and now your soul, thus cleansed, is in need of genuine nourishment to restore it to full radiance and vitality. Love will feed your hungry soul. Nothing less shall suffice. No sweet-talking charmer, hell-bent on seducing and moving on will make the grade. No, it has to be nothing less than genuine romancing by the great beloved to feed, comfort, and nurse you into radiance. Only that divine finger dipped in the heavenly honey can be taken in by your soul now. All else will feel as empty junk by comparison. But can we summon the strength to overcome habitual and mindless attempts at feeding on lesser substances? Oh yes. The great beloved shall storm through the kitchen and with military precision clear out the cupboards for only the best and finest, most decadent and delicious shall do for you. This oracle comes with special guidance for you. You are being given a blessing of Zahra, of radiance, of brightness. This blessing has a purpose. It is to clear out that which would obstruct your unfoldment to support the divine jewel of your soul in shining. You are being given an opportunity supported by life, by the earth, by the grace of the divine beloved to shed toxins from your being. These may be physical and they may be equally of emotional, psychic or psychological origin. They may come from this or another lifetime. You may understand consciously what is being released or you may not. If you are sensitive, you may feel symptoms of detoxification at a physical level, even if what you are releasing is emotional or psychological in nature. You are encouraged to complete the sacred honoring ritual, to stay adequately hydrated and to be moderate rather than excessive in your approach. Moderate, temperance. Give your body and mind time to rest and replenish so that blessing can be fully received. If you are being unwell or struggling to let go of an issue, this oracle comes as a portent of imminent healing back to good health and of release of the issue into resolution and divine radiance. It is only a matter of timing, and that timing is imminent. This oracle also brings you the message that if something appears to be living your life, even something painful to release, it is because it is no longer healthy for you or no longer supporting of life for you. There is something more loving and beautiful awaiting. Do not try to feast upon scraps. Stop scrapping in the dirt for stale breadcrumbs. Rise up and move towards the seat at the heavenly table gleaming before you, for a greater feast awaits your attendance. Okay, the sacred honoring ritual, if you feel the call to do it, says, say aloud, I call upon Al-Zahra, the merciful divine one shining with grace, and Rumi who loves me without condition. I call upon the healing angels, and I say the following declaration. With grace, I accept the shedding of that which is no longer worthy of me. I allow myself to release, with merciful grace, what no longer feeds my soul with the truest of nourishment. I open to receive, through unconditional love, healing, support, intervention, and protection, that I may shine with the divine radiance bestowed upon me in this blessing. I surrender my attachment to scraps and open my mind, body and soul to the great feast, and open my mind, body and soul to the great feast. In profound gratitude, I bow to the compassion that leads me to the banquet of love now. So be it. Lie down and rest for however long you need. Healing will happen during this time, so try to rest for at least 5 to 25 minutes, more if possible. Following your rest, you may also like to have a shower or bath using a handful of regular salt as a gentle body scrub to support your psychic and physical cleansing process. Enjoy this as an act of self-love. You have finished your sacred honoring ritual. All right, dear Pisces. Well, this is very precise in terms of what you're supposed to be doing coming from this oracle. So if you feel like this is the case and you resonate with this, feel free to suit yourself, whatever it is that you need. Thank you so much for being here, Pisces. If you resonate with this reading, please like, share, subscribe, comment. And I'll see you here next month. May our practice benefit all beings.